Ladies and gentlemen, life is a journey, and on this journey, we are bound to meet all kinds of people. Some will uplift us, support us, and bring out the best in us. But others, no matter how close they may seem, will do the exact opposite. Today, I want to talk to you about the 5 types of people you need to cut out of your life, starting with the first one, the competitor. Now, don't get me wrong. Healthy competition can be a great motivator. It pushes us to strive for excellence, to reach new heights, and to discover our true potential. But what happens when the competition is not so healthy? What happens when someone in your life is not just trying to outdo you, but actively working to see you fail? The competitor in your life is not someone who inspires you to be better. They are someone who thrives on your shortcomings. They are the ones who celebrate your failures more than their own successes. They may wear the mask of a friend, but their actions reveal their true intent. They want to be better than you, not with you. You see, the competitor doesn't see your success as a win for both of you. They see it as a threat. They will constantly compare themselves to you, and instead of encouraging you to be your best, they will subtly, or sometimes not so subtly, try to bring you down to make themselves feel superior. But here's the truth: you don't need someone in your life who sees you as a rival. You need people who see you as a partner, a collaborator, and an ally. You need people who want to build with you, not against you. The competitor creates an environment of negativity, envy, and unnecessary tension. And in that kind of environment, growth is stifled and dreams are diminished. So how do you recognize the competitor in your life? They are the ones who are quick to point out your flaws, but slow to acknowledge your strengths. They are the ones who keep score, always making sure they are one step up ahead of you. They are the ones who, instead of celebrating your victories, find ways to downplay them. Cutting ties with a competitor may be difficult, especially if they've been in your life for a long time. But remember this: your peace, your growth, and your success are far more important than maintaining a relationship that holds you back. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your wins as if they were their own. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not tear you down. I urge you to take a close look at the people in your life. Identify the competitors who are more focused on beating you than growing with you. And when you do, make the hard but necessary choice to distance yourself from them. It's not about animosity or ill will. It's about protecting your peace, your growth, and your future. The second type of person you should consider cutting out of your life is the user, someone who is always around when they need something from you, but is mysteriously absent when you need support. They see your kindness, your generosity, and your willingness to help as opportunities to benefit themselves without ever considering how they can reciprocate. The user often disguises their intentions under the guise of friendship or a mutual relationship, but their actions reveal a pattern of taking without giving back. They may come to you with constant requests, whether it's for your time, your resources, or your emotional energy, expecting you to drop everything to accommodate them. And because you value the relationship, you might find yourself going out of your way to help them, even when it's inconvenient or draining for you. But when the roles are reversed and you find yourself in need, the user is either unavailable or unwilling to extend the same level of effort. They might offer excuses or promises to help later, but somehow that later never comes. They take advantage of your goodwill, knowing that you are someone who values relationships and is reluctant to say no. The user's behavior isn't just unfair, it's exploitative. It creates a one-sided dynamic where you are constantly giving while they are constantly taking. Over time, this imbalance can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and even burnout. You might start to feel like you're being used, and that's because, quite frankly, you are. Recognizing the user in your life can be difficult, especially if you care about them deeply. They may have moments where they seem genuine or offer something in return, but these instances are often few and far between, and they rarely match the level of support you provide. True users are skilled at making you feel guilty for not helping them or at playing the victim to elicit your sympathy. They know how to manipulate your emotions to keep the dynamic working in their favor. But here's the reality: a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect, reciprocity, and genuine care. It's about both people giving and receiving. supporting each other through the ups and downs of life. The user, however, doesn't operate on this principle. They see relationships as transactions where their primary concern is what they can get out of it. Cutting the user out of your life is not about being selfish, it's about setting boundaries and recognizing your own worth. You deserve to be in relationships where you are valued for who you are, not just for what you can provide. You deserve to be surrounded by people who appreciate your kindness and are willing to give back, not just take advantage of it. Letting go of the user might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to being the one who always says yes. But it's crucial to understand that your time, energy, and resources are valuable. You have the right to protect them and to invest them in relationships that are truly reciprocal and fulfilling. As you distance yourself from the user, you'll likely notice a shift in your life. You'll have more energy to devote to people and activities that genuinely enrich you. You'll feel less burdened by the constant demands and more empowered to focus on your own needs and goals. And most importantly, you'll open up space for relationships that are built on true connection, where both parties uplift and support each other. Cutting ties with the user is a step towards reclaiming your power and ensuring that your relationships are balanced and healthy. It's a decision that allows you to protect your peace and prioritize your well-being, which is essential for living a fulfilling and an authentic life. The third person you should consider cutting out of your life is the blamer. The blamer is someone who consistently refuses to take responsibility for their own actions and choices. Instead, they point fingers at everyone else, especially you, when things go wrong. In their eyes, it's always someone else's fault, never their own. This type of person can be particularly draining because they not only refuse to own their mistakes, but also make you feel responsible for their failures. The blamer thrives on creating a narrative where they are the victim and everyone around them is to blame for their misfortunes. They will twist situations, rewrite history, and manipulate facts to fit their version of events. If you've ever been around a blamer, you might have found yourself on the receiving end of unjust accusations or feeling like you're constantly defending yourself against baseless claims. What makes the blamer especially toxic is that their behavior creates an environment of tension and conflict. They are quick to criticize, slow to forgive, and never willing to admit their own role in any negative situation. This kind of dynamic is not only emotionally exhausting, but can also erode your self-esteem over time. You might start doubting yourself, questioning your actions, and even feeling guilty for things that were never your fault to begin with. The blamer often lacks self-awareness and maturity. Instead of reflecting on their actions and learning from their mistakes, they prefer to shift the burden onto others. This lack of accountability prevents them from growing and evolving as individuals. And if you stay close to a blamer, their unwillingness to change can hinder your own growth as well. You might find yourself stuck in a cycle of constant conflict where nothing ever gets resolved because the blamer refuses to acknowledge their part in the problem. It's important to recognize that everyone makes mistakes. What matters is how we handle them. A healthy person will take responsibility, apologize when necessary, and work to make things right. The blamer, however, does none of these things. Instead, they lash out, deflect, and create a toxic atmosphere where constructive communication and resolution are nearly impossible. Letting go of the blamer might seem difficult, especially if they've been a significant part of your life. You might feel obligated to help them see the error of their ways or hope that they will eventually change. But the truth is, you can't force someone to take responsibility if they're not willing to do so. Change must come from within, and until the blamer decides to own their actions, the cycle will continue. Cutting ties with the blamer is an act of self-preservation. It's about protecting your peace of mind and ensuring that your energy is not constantly drained by someone else's refusal to grow. By distancing yourself from the blamer, you free yourself from the burden of their misplaced blame and allow yourself to focus on your own journey of growth and self-improvement. As you move away from the blamer, you'll notice a shift in your life. You'll feel lighter, more in control, and more empowered to make decisions that are right for you. You'll be able to engage in relationships where accountability, mutual respect, and healthy communication are the norms, not the exception. Cutting the blamer out of your life is not about abandoning someone in their time of need. It's about recognizing that you cannot carry the weight of someone else's unwillingness to change. It's about choosing to surround yourself with people who take responsibility for their actions, who are willing to grow, and who contribute to a positive and supportive environment. The fourth person you should consider cutting out of your life is the complainer. The complainer is someone who always finds something wrong with every situation. No matter how good things are, they will always focus on the negatives. Their outlook on life is consistently pessimistic, and they seem to thrive on finding reasons to be unhappy. While everyone has moments of frustration or dissatisfaction, the complainer lives in that state perpetually. Being around a complainer can be incredibly draining because their negativity has a way of spreading. They might start by complaining about minor inconveniences, but over time, their constant griping can create a toxic atmosphere. You might notice that after spending time with them, you feel more stressed, anxious, or even discontented with your own life, despite things going well. This is because negativity is contagious, and the complainer's relentless focus on what's wrong can start to influence your own mindset. The complainer often sees themselves as a victim of circumstances beyond their control. They rarely take action to improve their situation, preferring instead to wallow in their dissatisfaction. This is a dangerous cycle because it not only keeps the complainer stuck, but can also pull you into their spiral of negativity. You might find yourself trying to cheer them up, offer solutions, or find ways to make them see the brighter side. But no matter what you do, it's never enough. The complainer isn't looking for solutions, they're looking for validation of their grievances. What makes the complainer particularly toxic is that they can stifle your own positivity and growth. If you're constantly surrounded by someone who only sees the worst in every situation, it becomes harder for you to maintain a positive outlook. You might start to second guess your own optimism, feel guilty for being happy, or even adopt some of their negative thought patterns. It's important to recognize that while empathy and support are valuable, you are not responsible for someone else's perpetual unhappiness. The complainer's attitude is their choice, and if they are unwilling to change it, then there's little you can do to help. It's not your job to carry the weight of their negativity or to try to fix what they see as broken. Cutting ties with the complainer might feel harsh, especially if you've invested a lot of energy into trying to help them see the positives in life. But it's essential to understand that you have the right to protect your own mental and emotional well-being. Surrounding yourself with constant negativity will only weigh you down and make it harder for you to pursue your own goals and happiness. As you distance yourself from the complainer, you'll likely find that your own outlook on life improves. You'll have more mental and emotional energy to focus on what's going well and to work on the things you want to improve. You'll be able to maintain your optimism, pursue your passions, and enjoy life without the constant drain of someone else's negativity. Letting go of the complainer is about choosing to surround yourself with positivity and people who inspire you. It's about acknowledging that while you can empathize with someone's struggles, you don't have to let their negative mindset dictate your own. By cutting the complainer out of your life, you're making room for relationships that are uplifting, encouraging, and aligned with your values of growth and happiness. The fifth person you must unequivocally cut out of your life is the abuser, unlike the other types of people we've discussed, whose behaviors are toxic but may not be immediately recognized. The abuser is someone whose actions are directly harmful, both physically and emotionally. The abuser seeks control, power, and dominance over you, often through manipulation, intimidation, and outright harm. Abuse can take many forms: physical, emotional, verbal, psychological, or even financial. What all these forms have in common is that they are designed to break you down, to diminish your sense of self-worth, and to make you feel powerless. The abuser thrives on this power imbalance, using it to control your actions, your thoughts, and even your sense of identity. One of the most insidious aspects of an abusive relationship is that the abuser often works to isolate you from others. They may convince you that no one else cares about you, that you are unworthy of love or the fear of love, or that you are somehow to blame for their behavior. This isolation serves to increase your dependence on the abuser, making it even harder to break free. Over time, the constant abuse can erode your self-esteem and self-confidence, leaving you feeling trapped and helpless. It's important to understand that abuse is never your fault. No matter what the abuser tells you, no one deserves to be treated with cruelty or disrespect. You have the right to be safe, to be treated with dignity, and to live without fear. Recognizing the signs of abuse is the first step toward freeing yourself from the abuser's grip. These signs might include constant criticism, attempts to control your behavior, unpredictable mood swings, threats, or actual violence. The effects of abuse can be deep and long-lasting, but healing begins with making the decision to leave the relationship. This is not an easy step to take, especially if the abuser has convinced you that you can't live without them, or if you fear their reaction. However, cutting the abuser out of your life is a critical step toward reclaiming your power, your self-worth, and your future. If you find yourself in an abusive relationship, seeking help is essential. Reach out to trusted friends, family, or professionals who can support you in making a safe exit. There are also organizations and hotlines dedicated to helping people escape abusive situations. You don't have to go through this alone. Once you have removed the abuser from your life, you will begin the process of healing. This will take time, and it may involve rebuilding your sense of self and learning to trust again. But with every step you take away from the abuser, you are moving closer to a life where you are in control, where you are valued, and where you can live without fear. Cutting the abuser out of your life is not just about ending the relationship, it's about reclaiming your life. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be treated with love and respect, that you have the strength to walk away, and that your future is worth fighting for. By choosing to leave the abuser behind, you are taking the most important step toward a brighter, healthier, and more fulfilling life. In life, the company you keep plays a crucial role in shaping your journey. The relationships you nurture can either elevate you or drag you down, and it's important to recognize when someone is no longer serving your growth, happiness, or well-being. The competitor, the user, the blamer, the complainer, and the abuser are all individuals who, in different ways, can hold you back from reaching your full potential. Their behaviors create environments of negativity, exploitation, and even harm, and allowing them to remain in your life only hampers your progress. Cutting these people out of your life isn't about being harsh or unforgiving. It's about setting boundaries and protecting your mental, emotional, and even physical health. It's about making the conscious choice to surround yourself with people who uplift you, who support your dreams, who take responsibility for their actions, and who encourage positivity and growth. By letting go of those who weigh you down, you make room for healthier, more fulfilling relationships that align with the life you want to lead. Remember, you are deserving of love, respect, and support. You have the power to choose the people you allow into your life, and by making the difficult decision to cut ties with those who do not serve your best interests, you are choosing yourself. You are choosing a path of peace, progress, and purpose. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, who celebrate your successes, and who stand by you through challenges. In doing so, you'll create a life filled with positivity, growth, and the freedom to be your true self.